Welcome back to another video. So in today's video I wanted to show you exactly how I edit my podcast. We dropped a video on the channel on how to record a podcast using Zoom, and the video is doing really well. I've had a lot of people reach out to me in the last week or so, probably due to the old, I shouldn't really say it, should you? Due to the whole reason that we're all stuck at home at the moment. Yeah, YouTube's not going to pick that one up. The whole reason we're stuck at home, I think it's piqued a lot of interest for podcast owners that usually use studios for one thing, and even people that, didn't really know about the whole podcast sort of realm, or have just been introduced to it some way, somehow, because a lot of people are using Zoom these days simply to check in with their team, even if they never done that before. If they're working a 9 to 5 and they're now working at home, then that has been typically the way that people have had to communicate with each other at the moment, which has of course then spiked an interest in people thinking, why can't I start my own podcast using this platform? So in today's video, I want to show you exactly how I edit my podcast and how I get them from A to B. So let me just make myself a little bit smaller, because you don't want to see my ugly boat while I'm doing it. And I just want to take you through literally start to finish my exact process on how to edit and upload them in the right places. So what we're going to do is we'll just go into my hard drive. So like I said, I've already dropped a video on how to record them, so I won't go over that. I'm going to go over them from how we take them from the video, the screen recording, into ready to publish essentially. So when you finish recording a podcast, you'll probably notice that you need to save the destination on where the podcast episode is going to go, and you can see that I've got mine here pretty sleek set up, that I've just got a Designer Future podcast folder, which I definitely recommend have some sort of place that you save everything for the podcast itself. I have the podcast intro, pretty cool little intro that I made very simply, and then I have ready to upload. And you can see I've got posted episodes, and you can see that these are all of the posted episodes of the podcast. So when you first save the episode, it's going to come down like this, and obviously you can see that this is the date that it was recorded. And if I just click into here, you'll get a little exclusive. You got a little exclusive of an episode that's waiting to come out with a lovely lady who owns an osteopath company, and I've got another episode here.
Hey guys, welcome back to tabloids.
So this is the file that we're going to be working with. You can see it's it's very simple. It's a .mp4 file, and all you need to do to get that is obviously go into the relevant place. So I'm actually going to work on this one today because I haven't edited this one as of yet, and this is the oldest one. All of the other ones you've seen are pretty recent. So if you know me, you know that I am a big advocate for Final Cut Pro. I'm actually editing one of our Bali vlogs in here at the moment, but Final Cut Pro is my baby. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I've obviously already got this set up as a podcast, and I've got my DAF podcast template. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to create it from scratch, just in case I've been on videos before and it's just sort of so you've sort of left out a little bit. So I obviously already have a template for it, but I just want to show you how I got to this point of having that template, right? So let me just open it up and just show you what I'm sort of talking about. I'll put me in the other corner, and you can see that this template is basically ready. And if I was to show you how I edit my podcast, because it might be a little bit different to you now, is I simply come here, drag this into my timeline, let it import. It's going to go do it a little bit slower, and you can see that I just dragged it in front of the outro. So all I do, very simply, come to the top, drag this part over the top of it, make it a little bit bigger, delete the original podcast that was already in there from the episode before, and delete this bit. And then there's a little bit that I usually have to cut off at the start, where it's just this.
Hey guys, welcome.
So it's literally a couple of seconds, and you can see that in the audio wave. You can see it down here straight away, so you don't even really have to listen to it. You can just see that, okay, I'll start talking here, and it really depends on how well you deliver your podcast. So for example, let me just come here. So let me, whoa, that is Inception. Whoa. So yeah, for example, that is really weird. Look, like I'm literally sitting there at the same time. So yeah, obviously it really depends on how you deliver your podcast, of course, because you know, if you're literally hitting record on Zoom and then you're hitting stop when you're finishing them, then there'll be like minimal editing that you're going to need to do in this whole post-production sort of part. Of course, if you make like really big mistakes in the Zoom call, you know, if you swear or something and you don't want to swear in the show, or you say something that you're like, you know what, my audience isn't really going to appreciate that, or you just don't want to put that stuff out, of course, then you're going to have to do a bit more of a deeper dive when you are editing these podcasts. But for me, really and truly, it's the start, so it goes naturally into it like this.
Hey guys, welcome back to another.
Very nice and simple. I always start with, hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So it's, you know, it's very straightforward. I'm just going to drag this part, which is the background, and you can see that it's going to go behind it.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hey guys, welcome back to another.
I was thinking, why does that look weird? But it's because it's usually when it's on this view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bit out. I'm just going to hit Command and B, and we're going to delete that first bit. So the intro is just going to be this bit where it's obviously two big bits, and then it's going to go, boom, into this. Cool. Perfect. And then we're just going to go all the way to the end and just drag this image all the way to the end, so it lines up all the way to the end of the episode. And of course, we're just going to do the exact same thing when we get into the outro.
And guys, for watching and listening, I will see you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye bye. See you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Command B, cut that bit off here. And you can see I just want to bring this all the way to the outro. And, you know, we've got a 37-minute podcast episode basically ready to go. I don't need to do much more editing after that, to be completely frank with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to edit. I'm just going to export this. Actually, no, we'll leave it, because I just wanted to show you how I would set this up from scratch. You can see, like mine, I really have a couple of key principles. I just have this filter over it. You really do not need this. I just kind of like it because it's sort of like promoting my channel while someone's on a video like this. And of course, like if I take this off, for example, if I take it completely off, then it's just a bit like boring. So I just personally like it that it adds a little bit more character to this like long form video. So if you was doing this from scratch, we're just going to hit new project, and then you want to come down, and these are pretty good for me. So video 1080 HD, 1920 by 1080 is going to be absolutely fine for YouTube. So then also I had someone that asked me how you actually do this like overlay thing. It's pretty easy. You can just see that it's a shape mask. So all you basically want to do is get your normal screenshot of your YouTube channel. All I literally done to get this effect is I went onto my YouTube channel, I went to my videos, and I just literally like scrolled down, well, to like here, so like that, and then I just screenshotted. I actually done Shift Command and 4, because the difference is Shift Command 4 you can actually select where you want it to screenshot rather than the whole thing. And you can see I just literally dragged it like this, very simple. I'm not going to do it now, but just dragged it and selected basically what I wanted to use. And I think it looks pretty clean. Like obviously it's not great, like it could be a lot better, but one, I didn't pay anything for it. I didn't spend hours, you know, designing some like crazy podcast thing. And you can see even here, like the last episode I posted, I actually even just left it as the thumbnail because I don't think it looks that bad as the thumbnail. You know, it could look better, but you know, you can see this one here. I've actually changed the thumbnail on this one, so I don't know why that's staying like that. But you know, you can see this compared to that, it looks a lot nicer. So yeah, I definitely recommend putting something like that. And yeah, all I've done was I added a mask to it. So you can see if I take the mask off, it's just a simple shape mask, and then you can just turn the opacity down. So if that's all the way up, you can leave it all the way up if you want it, but you can see I'm just literally shaping it down. And you can see the shape mask is here. So you can see I've just done like a shape mask, and I've just dragged it right on top of our Zoom call, and you can actually use the feather tool. So you can see I can feather this to and from. So if it's there, you just want to go past where like the black lines are, and I think that's like a perfect point. So basically what you want to do from here is you just want to export this, and we're going to do this, we're going to do it live as we're watching it. So you can see I've already got it, Designer Future, and then we're just going to do, his name was Mantus, and you can see this is a big file. So this is 5.41 gigabytes, which is quite a lot when you think about it. So same again, have a nice system for this. I just go I just go YouTube videos, Designer Future podcast, and you can see I'm now going to put it into my ready to upload folder. And now, because this is obviously going to export, it's going to take a very long time. That's the main thing that you're going to have to sort of digest when creating podcasts is, yes, it didn't take me a long time to edit it, which you obviously just see, because I have a proven system and a clear strategy of what I do when I now edit my podcast. However, they do still take long to actually export the file, which you'll obviously see. Okay, so now my next tip for you guys. It's all well and good having this big long form podcast and stuff like that, but ultimately what we now want to do is we want to drive some traffic to it, right? So what I basically do is, you can see I've got another folder called Instagram videos, and you can see here I've got Instagram template. So now what I basically do is I do the exact same thing, but I just make it for Instagram. So if you're going to create this on a new file, you just want to hit new project, and we're going to come down and hit custom, and then for Instagram you want to use 1080 by 1080, and that would be absolutely perfect. And you can see the difference between the two is, if you have a look on here in Final Cut, you can see 1080 at the top, and you can just see that it's like a square rather than like a rectangle, if you like. So yeah, the square is going to be perfect for Instagram story, Instagram feed videos, even Instagram story videos if you want to use it for that. So you can see I've got one of my clients' podcasts in here as well in the box, and you can see that I use the exact same strategy for these guys. I've got everything templated out here so that when the full video is exported, all I need to do is this simple process. So what I'll do for this video is I'll just show you with an older episode. So if I go back into my podcasts, we're going to go into the Designer Future podcast, and we are going to find an older video, and I actually know one that I haven't done any videos for. So the Sam Day video, shout out Sam if you're watching this, hope you're doing well, man, staying safe. I'm actually wearing the same hoodie as well, so it's relevant, right? Now I could do that trick again, look. Oh god, I've got way too much time on my hands. Right, so basically, like, what I like to do is I call this the golden nugget process, and it's pretty weird, but I suppose it is what it is. Now this is going to be the bit where, obviously as well, if you record these podcasts, then you'll probably know in the back of your head, like, oh, he said something really cool at this time, or oh, we had a really good conversation at like 20 minutes in. For me, obviously, if you're recording mass amounts of podcasts, then you might forget certain key points. So this is the point where I'll just sort of go through and I'll have a look for what I like to call the golden nuggets of this 26-minute video, and try and find as many passages where, they're essentially going to be like teaser clips for Instagram. So let's just have a little look through.
YouTube directly as well. I managed to win a competition called...
Okay, cool. Straight away. Boom.
YouTube directly as well.
I want this bit. I managed to win a competition. Boom. Straight away.
Managed to within an industry. I managed to win a competition called YouTube Next Up last year. So I was part of YouTube Next Up in 2019.
Cool.
Where we was kind of taken it. Well, it was me and like another, I think it was 7 or 8 other YouTube creators. We were at the YouTube space for a week.
Cool. Right, so perfect. All you basically do is try and then put that down to like a minute or however long you sort of want it. But you can just see, same again, I'm just going to show you how easy and simple I make this whole process for me. I'd literally just drag that over, drag the background over, get rid of the beginning of the previous clips, make sure that's all the way over, make sure this is in like a nice place, and then do the same here. And now what we're going to do, so you can see that the outro is on the beginning of the video, which we obviously don't want. But now we just want to go
as well, seen the content
and see where we want to finish this clip.
And off of the back of that, I've been able to build something.
Okay.
As well, seen the content, and off of the back of that, I've been able to build something.
Boom, perfect. And that's on 59 minutes. So we're going to hit Command and B, and we're going to get rid of the right side, because now we have this small, very compact little video for Instagram, as I mentioned. Whoa. So now what we want to do, because I accidentally put the outro at the end, we just want to drag these off of there, and then we want to highlight this. Oh, no. Or you can just do it the other way around. So just put that like that. Yeah, there you go. No, I've lost it. Oh no, there it is. So cool, perfect. And now what you want to do is you just want to come to like these sort of clips, and we just want to get rid of them at the end. So come to here, click onto the actual part and hit Command B, get rid of these, and then obviously split the clip, get rid of it there, which is perfect. So now I'm going to come back and just drag these all the way over to the end, and now you're obviously going to see that I need to now drag this over. So this is a process. It's a very, very big process, but it's made easier by doing stuff like this, right? And that's cool. So one thing that you might notice is that I don't really want these big black gaps on the side. So once again, I can either do a mask or actually, yeah, let's do a mask, because it's really going to show you how to do it, like I was speaking about before. So we're just going to come down, hit masks, and you're just going to hit shape mask and click on it here. So you can see straight away it's automatically put that shape onto my video. Now all we're going to do is make sure it's relevant for this. And you can see that's basically perfect straight away. Might just want to make that a bit bigger, the video itself. And one thing I can actually do, and I'm actually, do I want to go through that? Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm going to make this bigger, but then what I'm actually going to do, and I don't do this for everyone, so this is a really good thing that I could probably do at the moment. I don't do this for everyone at all, but I'm just going to copy the actual clip, and we're going to paste a clip, right? And now I'm going to actually drag this as a layer. So now we've got two of these files. We're going to turn down the volume on this one, just so we can only hear one of them. And then what I'm going to do is, because there's a big gap in between us for some reason, and if I make this video bigger, it's going to look pretty weird. So you can see that I can literally have that like that if I wanted to. Like, feel free to go ahead and do that. But if we just keep it like this, and then what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to crop each one. So I'm going to crop this one so it's right on the side of Sam, like this. And then I'm going to crop the other one. And I'm going to crop it so it's right on the side of me. So yeah, like you can see straight away. This one here. And like I said, I don't ever do this for the podcast, so this is a pretty good example, because this is the most editing I'm probably ever going to do to them at all. Like, obviously a great thing that you could do is you could get these, you could get both of, you know, it's not ever going to probably happen if you're doing them the way that I'm doing them, but I've obviously used my green screen on podcasts before, which then makes like the footage after look really cool. But of course you can't really expect the person you're interviewing to just have like a green screen waiting. Okay, so you can see all I'm doing is I'm basically just utilising this so I can make these bigger. And I'm actually going to, weirdly enough, I'm going to flip Sam. I'm going to flip him just because I think it would look a bit better. Like he's looking at me sort of thing. Look into my eyes. No. Right, let's leave it. Bloody hell. Otherwise it's going to go too far. Yeah, that's perfect. We're just going to have this like this, and we're going to do the same thing with me on here. And I don't even need to be the big one on here, because obviously I was interviewing Sam anyway. So, yeah, cool. So I also want to make these different as well. Like I don't just want to make them exactly the same every time I create them. So this is pretty good that I'm having to do something a little bit new. I could go all out and just create like a mask for this instead. But anyway, let's. I'm just going to compound clip those now, and then I'm actually going to just crop this because you can see my one I left a little bit higher. Doesn't really matter, but you can just see I'm just going to crop it out now after. If I can. Come on, mate. There you go. Right, so let's just crop this to about there. And then that's it. Like, you can put loads of like bells and whistles in if you want to, but I think this is going to look pretty good.
I managed to win a competition called YouTube Next Up last year. So I was part of YouTube Next Up in 2019, where we was kind of taking it. Well, it was me and like another, I think it was 7 or 8 other YouTube creators. We were at the YouTube space for a week.
Cool, perfect. So I'm just going to move this up just a little bit. You can see that I could probably do with it just being up a little bit, and it's also going to bring my little timer into it a little bit. So I've also got a video on how to do these timers, but if I just quickly show you how to do them, it's very simple. I'm just going to reset this so I can do it from scratch. Come up to transform and hit reset. And if I was to do this from like, I'm not going to do it from a complete, oh no, we will actually, cool. So if we just delete this, right, so to do the little timer countdowns, I have got a separate video on this, but if for some reason you haven't seen it, then I will show you quickly. You just want to go to generators, and we're going to drag a generator onto the clip. Of course, we're going to drag it all the way to the end of the clip, or to where you want the timer to finish. You can see I obviously don't want the timer to finish on the outro, I just want to do it to there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my colour, so I'm just going to come up to the top right, hit on this panel here and select the colour, and then we're going to hit the I can't remember what it's called, colour picker tool. Oh, okay, so then you just want to highlight your colour, and you can see that mine has actually, it's changed because I'm doing it off the smaller image. So if you see here, that's what I wanted. It's because it's behind the picture, so I can't actually find it. So let's go one up. Just drag this to the top. Only reason I'm literally doing that is so I can colour pick it, and it's going to get the correct colour. Oh God, you need to click back on it. Man, people think video editing is so simple. It's so tedious. Right, there you go. So cool. And now what we're going to do, screenshot, put it right down to the bottom again, and you can see that now this is sort of dominating the page. And of course, we don't really want it like that. So we're going to hit the transform tool, and we're just going to bring it down to like here. Find the sort of gap of how far you want it to go. So you can see, like, I probably want it to go, I want it to go like there, just so you can see like a gap in both sides. And essentially that's what I want it to be. I want it to fill the whole screen like that by the end of the video. Yeah, by the end of the video. So all you basically want to do, go to the start of the video, hit the transform tool again, come up here to the video inspector, and we're just going to scroll down until you see the crop section. And I used to do this another way, but this way is so simple, right? All you basically want to do is crop it until you can see that it's going to go right off the screen, right? And then all you're going to do is hit this keyframe tool, okay? The keyframe, just make sure you press it, right? Hit the keyframe tool, go all the way to the end of the clip where you want it to be, obviously all the way over, and all you're going to do is drag that back down, right? I knew that didn't do it for some reason. I don't know why the keyframe thing wasn't working. Okay, so if that doesn't work, the keyframe thing doesn't work for some reason on there. Okay, so it looks like it did that time. Told you guys, tedious stuff. If the keyframe on there doesn't work for some reason, just literally come onto here, hit the transform tool again. Just do the exact same thing, so the right thing. But then instead of coming to here, all you're going to do is come up to the top, hit Control, and then right click and just hit Add. So that's a way you can see that it's now done it. I don't know why it wasn't actually doing it for there. I always do this way of Shift Command and then add the keyframe. Same again, just go to the end of the file, and of course, ooh, look, see, look, nice, got rid of that. Ooh, okay. Throwing some spanner in the works, are we? There you go, look. So, why did that get rid of that then? No idea. Right, so, and then just, yeah, finish it to the end. And now you'll see that this is going to progressively get bigger as it goes on and finishes on the end of the video. Now, if you watch this back,
I managed to win a competition called YouTube Next Up last year.
Perfect. That's going to be great. That episode is going out. And, of course, I can now export this as a short Instagram preview. Something along those lines. And I'm going to put it into my ready to upload folder. So, guys, hopefully that helps. That is how I edit my podcast. And, yeah, very simple. Oh, excuse me. Very simple to do. And I'm also going to use that footage to create these small preview clips. I wanted to keep this in here. I may do like a separate video that's going to be like just how to repurpose your podcast content. So hopefully you guys come in and check in for that one as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, guys. Absolutely love making this type of content. So if you do want me to make anything around this sort of topic, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And I will see you in the next... I'm going to put myself here to sign off. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.